you can get access to this agent builder. So I'm about to briefly describe about the builder flow, like what we will be able to access in the canvas, and for the steps which we need to like custom build an agent for individual applications of either business use case, personal use cases, or as you have seen here, we have different templates. I'll not dive into this. I'll just showcase in this video only one example of how to create an agent from scratch and publish it so that we can access it in our own applications. So one of the main advantages of OpenAI agents, which they released, is we can integrate this in the any of our um, own applications. We can directly deploy the chat kit. They provide a chat kit bundle, and we just need to configure it in our individual platform. So these are the templates which they have. One is data enrichment, planning helper. It just creates some. If you want some business initiatives, it just gives you um, the it's just a personal support assistant. So I have tried some of the workflows in the agent builder. I'll just show you the expenses agent which I have created. um, First of all, before diving into that, I'll just give you a brief explanation about what each and every um, tool which we have in this toolkit. We have an agent. For example, let me check this agent. So we can configure the instructions for the agent. It is this just gives you the role of the prompt. For example, you can just configure. This is the role of the agent. It's just a personal expenses assistant for now. We have start and we have end, like start of the prompt and end of the prompt, and we can configure both of the. I mean, this is given in the initial stage, but when it is ending, right? It's just whenever you want the user to end the prompt, he can end it. We have even note. For example, I have created this note. Let me go back. I have created this node, right? It doesn't have any purpose. For example, if I want to define anything, for example, I have defined um, some guardrails for this to run moderation, to reduce the prompt injection or jailbreaking, and even hallucination checks, right? I just included in this um, just jailbreak. I included jailbreak in guardrails. This is just an example. Um, and if you see guardrails, we can add it from the tools. So individually, we are able to configure these guardrails. It's just a initial. I mean, I'd like to add guardrails before because it usually user tends to if it tries to prompt inject or it blocks harmful content and jailbreaking attempts and reduces hallucination as well. If we try to enable this hallucination guardrail, we can just and even personal identification information. So for this expenses agent, what I have done is I we have our own personal credit card statements, right? So I have downloaded those statements, and for each month you'll be getting those statements if you have a credit card. So for 4 or 5 months I have generated it. So in this personal identification information, we can detect sensitive personal data. For example, if you want, since this is an expense agent, I don't want to restrict this credit card number, and as well as some personal information in it. So, but if you want to personally guardrail it to protect sensitive information, then this won't be processed in the final published agent. So, and if it passes, it just goes into the normal agentic flow, and if it fails, it just gets ends it here. So for the expenses agent, what we have done is we included tools. For example, if you see this right, for me, I needed some personal information or insights on my spending. So what I have done is I have created a file. I have uploaded files of my previous credit card statements, and you can add this in this file search. Normally, agents you can either add MCP server as well. You can directly integrate it from various third-party servers, or as well as some OpenAI connectors, right, which are maintained by OpenAI. You have various, like if you want to automate an email, or if you want to Dropbox, or if you want to access to third-party developers, you'll be able to add this MCP server. And even if you want to connect to an MCP server which has the API services exposed and the API key exposed, you'll be also able to do that. So, but for now, I have added only file search, because I want to only investigate my previous spendings, and that's what this agent is for. You can also add web search. It normally behaves like a typical ChatGPT web search prompt. So that's this, and the output format. So this is crucial for now. We have three different types of format over here. We have text, JSON, and widget. So for text, you normally have reasoning text, which the ChatGPT's output will typically give, and the JSON format is, for example, if you have typed, the it detects based on the user prompt initially, that is the input parameters or the pathway which it has to choose from the user tokens. For example, for this structured output, I have created spendings, expected expense insights, and suggestions. So, because this is an expenses agent, usually what I configured was you can track spend. You have to track spendings. For example, what are the areas of spendings you'll be able to configure, and you want to gain some insights on the expense, and you want to get some suggestions as well based on your previous spending and expense history. So I have created these three properties, and based on these three properties, similarly we have if else conditions over here, and since we have already configured this parameter over, we can add any number of conditions here. For example, if we add this, right, if you want a different condition, you'll be able to add it over here. So I don't want it for now. And this is the track of the expense pendings. So this is the spending history. I just need the expense history, then you'll be able to configure the expense history. If I just want to gain some insights on the expenses, then this is the insights agent. And if I want suggestions, for example, if I want to forecast um, according to my spend, or want to find what is the major area of impact of my past expenses, and if I want to further to reduce my spendings, so those are all I have configured in this feedbacks and suggestions tool agent. So for now, let's go to the expense history. um, this is an expense. As you can see, you're an expenses inventory display agent. Your role is to display the expenses information, and for this output format I have explicitly given expense history. So this is the widget where you will be able to build in this ChartKit Studio from OpenAI itself, and they have typical gallery of widgets over here. And if you think that your configured widget is able to, is here, then you can choose any of this and download it. If not, you can just create a new widget from blank, just like how I created this other budget widgets, right? So, for example, this is one of my examples in the expense history. As you can see, there are different types of segregations of my expenses, and I thought this is fine for my expenses history, and I can filter out based on the month and as well as year and type of expense as well. So that is this output format where we can configure as part of the expense history model output. And the next one is insights. So it's just an insights gathering widget. What I wanted to do is I just want to track my pre-past previous month's expenses. So I just created a dashboard kind of thing. The chatbot, right? Like if we directly give it to the agent, it just creates this very cool widgets. For example, if you see this, right, budget forecast. So this is the expense agent dashboard, and it expects the JSON to be typically like this for to embed in this template. So you have to be sure that your this is being sent. If not, we'll have to cross check it again, because once we put it inside the publish and try to preview as well, right, it will be kind of let's try, for example, let's try an expense agent for now. So I need my expenses on the month of expenses in the last month. So this is just my chat to it. First of all, it goes through guardrails like this. This is the guardrails. Since it's a safe text, it just goes to expenses agent. It searches my files which I have uploaded in this expenses agent. So I have uploaded bunch of my credit card information in this, right? So it searches for it, and then it goes to this if else block where it segregates based on the like what I have prompted it in expense history. So since I have asked specifically for expense history, it it is going through this flow where this agent is getting triggered in the expense history. So it just gave me some expense history for the month of August to September, since I have mentioned last month, right? This just gave me an expense history, and this is the end of the flow. So that's how it works. And since I have asked only for my expenses for the past month, you can custom write it by asking it again. I just want it through months of August, September, and October, or even if you have a wider range of files, right? You can just ask the total summary of my expense history. So similarly, we have expense agent dashboard, and then we have feedbacks and suggestions. So the cool thing which I have done in these feedbacks and suggestions is usually we want to gain some insights or try to minimize our spending usually with the expenses agent. So what I have done is using this feedback and suggestions, I have segregated this again into three different types of agents in this individual agent. And in this if else block, we have this suggestions pathway. So one is forecasting agent, one is area of impact, and another is tools and solutions. So for example, if I want anything with the area of impact, so that you are a support assistant, your role is to give advice to the user which area is affecting. Okay. and that is this area of impact. And if you want tools and suggestions, have put web search because it's just acts as a support assistant. If user wants to individually try different apps or know different methods of any tools and suggestions to reduce his expenses, right, then he'll be able to use these tools and suggestions. And this forecasting assistant, I have written like the budget forecast. This is not, it just plans for the next few months. What is the budget of, what should be the budget of for me? Because typically it's an expenses agent, right? So I just included it in for some testing purposes as well. And if you want to check this, I can write it like. I want to know uh, in which area my spendings are more in. So this is just a prompt I have given to the agent, and this is just a preview. Once you publish it, you'll be able to access the agent builder in your individual file. So I'll just show it how you can access later on in the video. I'm just showing this cool thing which I mean in the agentic flow, right? Where you can uh, configure this area of impact. For example, if you are spending more on groceries or if you're spending more on restaurants or entertainment, it just gives you the output file. You can either get it in the form of text, you can get it in a part of widget, or you can segregate it part of JSON. For example, these are all JSONs, right? You can just try to mitigate it based on the type of output format you'd like it. So as you can see, it's an expense agent. Okay, it's just going through this insights. Let me try and give it again. I would like suggestions on which area of my expenses to reduce. So since I have asked it like a solution, it just goes to the feedback and solutions and check for area of impact. So if you see, right, it just goes into feedback and solutions, and it's going to the area of impact agent, and it just calculates which area of impact I have on. So it gives me mostly like food and dining, transportation, etc., etc. So if we have user approval. If I like this prompt, I just give user approval over here, and if I don't like it, I mean, we can configure this later on, but for now I just ended it, either if it's an approval or it's rejection. So that's the area of impact we have. And for example, if I want tools and suggestions, suggest me how to reduce and suggest me and provide some tools to cut my expenses. So it again goes through the flow, and let's see if it hits the tools and solutions where we have included web search, right? So that it will just try to web search. And now, from this expenses agent, we can try to create e-commerce product session agent, and we can try maybe configuring many other agents. I'll try to build some couple of agents and display it in the video as part of the videos as well. Oh, it's still going to the area of impact. Okay, maybe I haven't configured this well. Let me close this and check what's causing this. So feedbacks and solutions, right? And this is the area of impact solution pathway tools. Okay, let me again configure. Suggest me some tools to cut my expenses. Uh, so it's always going to the area of impact, but because I think what it's trying to do is try to give us the most areas of impact, for example groceries, restaurants, etc. So I think it's always trying to give send us some file related data because we have already uploaded it, and it's just trying to analyze what it already has inside it. So it wants to give us um, see it's using file search, but I think right what it needs to do is go to feedbacks and sessions, and from there it needs to search for tools, and we just need to get tools and sessions over here. Um, and for the widget builder part, what you can do is you can also configure playground. For example, you have this cool playground where this part of the UI, right? We can directly configure this playground of ChatGPT agent builder directly into your application. For example, if you want to change it to dark mode, you can change it, or if you want to create a different color, you can create different color and tinted grayscale. You can just change the color of the agent based on your theme and application. So if you want to change the font size as well, so these are all custom uh, toolkit which you are able to access for the chatbot. I mean agent bot, and okay, network failed. It's fine. I think we'll just try to configure um, or we need to just refine this flow once. So before that, I'd like to show you the how to use this chart kit. So we can either add domain for this chart kit or directly add the agent SDK. So for example, we have this chart kit quick start, right? We need to you have this cool documentation on how to use this chart kit directly into the application, like what are all the modules you need to install in your individual project directory, how to include this chart kit with this I mean this chart kit session, and what are the layers need to involved in this chart agentic chart, right, which we will be able to add in the application. So with this you'll be able to configure your entire agent builder flow in your individual application. So we can publish it. I think I have already published it. I don't need to publish it again unless and until if you need to make any changes, that should be entirely fine. So that's it, and I'll try to create more agentic flows using this agent builder, and come up with some cool agents, right, which are useful for our even for business use cases.